Good evening. You are watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. The Sultanate and the United Kingdom review aspects of cooperation in developed technologies, researches, education, and a number of regional and international issues. And Yemen's separatists regained full control of the interim capital, Aden, following clashes with government forces who withdrew from the southern port city. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. Enhancing bilateral relations and exchanging viewpoints on a number of issues and developments at the regional and international levels topped the discussion of His Excellency Sayyid Badr bin Hamad bin Hamoud Al Busaidi, Secretary General of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, while meeting His Excellency Dr. Andrew Morrison, British Foreign Secretary for Middle East and North Africa, currently visiting the Sultanate. The meeting reviewed cooperation opportunities between the Sultanate and the United Kingdom within the signing of the Integrated Agreement for Long-Standing Friendship and Bilateral Cooperation between both countries, which included developing the sectors of technology, science, researches, and education. Both sides confirmed their continued support and encouragement in economic partnership development and cultural exchanges, which will have a positive reflection on people of both nations for more benefits and growth. The Ministry of Health, represented by the Directorate General of Medical Supplies, organized a training workshop for the pharmacists under the title Antimicrobial Stewardship Program. More details in the following report by Dalia bint Isam bin Ahmed.
Antimicrobial stewardship, or safeguarding antimicrobial use, is a coordinated program that promotes the appropriate use of antimicrobial agents like antibiotics to reduce microbial resistance and decrease the spread of infections.
Rationalizing the use of antimicrobial agent has always been the main target for Ministry of Health. So we at Directorate General of Medical Supplies organized this program to train pharmacists from different regions, so to optimize the use of antimicrobial agents.
Around 30 pharmacists from various MOH institutions participated in this two-day workshop that aimed to raise the competency of pharmacists in the field of antimicrobial therapy.
It is important to give a counseling to the patient after giving the antibiotic. First, they have to complete the course of antibiotics and take the antibiotics according to a prescription. Also, according to counseling from the pharmacist, which is to be used every hours or every 6 hours or every 8 hours, and to complete the full course like 5 days and 7 days, which decrease the and avoid the antibiotic resistance.
So my advice to the public is to be aware that using antibiotics right now you might think it's helping you immediately, but if you don't need the antibiotic, it might have negative consequences that will affect your health or maybe your kids' health in the future, and will make these antibiotics less effective every time you try to use them. And this will overall impact ourselves as a society in terms of our health and natural lifespan of humans in general.
This workshop came to highlight the importance of the pharmacist in the ASP team as the drug expert. Safeguarding antibiotics is a mission that starts here but ends with each one of you at home. So make sure you follow your doctor's and your pharmacist's advice. For the Sultanate of Oman television, this is Dalia Isam.
Separatists in South Yemen today regained full control of Aden following clashes with the government forces who had controlled key sites in the interim capital for just a few hours. Southern Yemen is a new front in Yemen's complex war, which started when Houthi rebels seized large swaths of territory, including the capital Sana'a, in 2014. Southern separatists had for years fought alongside the government against the Houthis, but their relations have been strained since 2017. A spokesman for the pro-independence Southern Transitional Council told reporters that the security belt force completely controls the city of Aden along with its entrances. Russian-backed regime forces seized several towns and villages in northwest Syria today as deadly airstrikes hit the militant-held bastion. Seven civilians died in airstrikes in the south of the bastion a day after regime airstrikes killed 12 others, including 6 children in a single town. 8 years into Syria's war, the Idlib region of some 3 million people is one of the last holdouts of opposition to President Bashar al-Assad's government. His forces have been chipping away at the southern edge of the stronghold run by Syria's former Al-Qaeda affiliate for 3 weeks after months of deadly bombardment. Last week, the regime took control of the town of Khan Sheikhoun on a key highway that runs through the Idlib province, linking Damascus to second city Aleppo. Syria's war has killed more than 370,000 people and displaced millions, more since it started in 2011 with anti-government protests. The EU's diplomatic chief Federica Mogherini said today the bloc would support talks between the United States and Iran, but only if the current nuclear deal with Tehran is preserved. Washington and Tehran have been locked in a bitter standoff since last year, when U.S. President Donald Trump unilaterally pulled out of the 2015 deal that gave Iran relief from sanctions in return for curbs on its atomic program. The idea of direct talks between Washington and Tehran as a way out of the crisis grew this week after Trump mooted the idea and the new U.S. Defense Secretary urged Iran's leaders to engage. An Iranian delegation is expected in Paris next week, and a meeting between senior Iranian and EU officials is planned soon. Iranian Foreign Minister Mohammad Jawad Zarif said today his country's supreme leader will not meet with U.S. President Donald Trump unless Washington lifts all sanctions against Tehran. He accused the U.S. of waging economic terrorism against Iran and added they do not negotiate with terrorists. Addressing a conference in the Malaysian capital Kuala Lumpur, Zarif said the removal of U.S. sanctions could help salvage the Iranian nuclear deal, which has been unraveling since Trump withdrew from it last year. Iran has been reducing its compliance with the deal since the U.S. pullout, but Zarif said it could easily revert back to full implementation if the sanctions go. Still to come in our news bulletin. Golden Lines exhibition embodied nature, human lifestyle, and historical sites. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. The Ministry of Sports Affairs concluded its large-scale summer sports and shababi programs that targeted youth and children across the country in various governorates of Oman. The last region to finalize the program was Al-Dhahra Governorate, as the program revealed hidden talents in Omani youths and children in many types of sports and cultural events. The program provided a platform for young athletes to meet and compete with each other at the governorate level. Participants expressed their support and appreciation for taking part in such events that allowed them to invest their summertime in useful activities. The closing ceremony was held under the patronage of His Excellency Sheikh Saoud bin Mohammed Al Ma'wali, Wali of Dhank. Under the theme Golden Lines, the arts exhibition for the artist Mayada Saeed Rayhan was opened with 22 glamorous paintings reflecting a blend of themes such as nature, human life, and heritage. The event was held in Sultan Qaboos Complex for Entertainment and Culture in the Wilaya of Salalah under the patronage of His Excellency Dr. Rashid Al-Safi Al-Hreibi, Chairman of the Tender Board. On a statement to Oman television, the fine artist Mayada revealed that her paintings attempted to capture moments of happiness and peace in modern times. She also stated that her paintings are based on a combination of realism, surrealism, and abstract arts painting methods. They reflect themes of nature, heritage, and traditions. In the Governorate of Musandam, a lecture was held on the role of astronomy in the past times and its significance in the Arab region in times of knowing the weather condition, days of the year, agriculture, and the harvest season. It also shed light on bird migration seasons and fish breeding, among other aspects related to traveling in the past. Now for the general weather forecast around the Sultanate. Clear skies will prevail over most of the governorates, with chances of low clouds and fog late at night and early morning over the coasts of the Arabian Sea and Sea of Oman. Partly cloudy to cloudy skies with chances of intermittent drizzle are expected over the governorate of Dhofar. Winds will be easterly to southeasterly, light to moderate. Seas will be slight with a maximum wave height of 1 meter. This is the Sultanate of Oman Television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main headlines once again. The Sultanate and the United Kingdom review aspects of cooperation in developed technologies, researches, education, and a number of regional and international issues. And Yemen's separatists regained full control of the interim capital, Aden, following clashes with government forces who withdrew from the southern port city. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, it's good night.